Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming out to the city's newest park here. I want to open it up so some people want to make some comments here. We're going to do a ribbon cutting. The park just got finished up, I think, yesterday, Tim. They took the fences down and the contractor left, so we're right on time here with a brand new park here in the West Haven 10th and Page area. I'm going to be over here at a table. This park does not have a name yet. We're going to open a public process to take recommendations for names. If anybody has those today, I can write them down, but you've got a month or two still to submit those via email and phone through myself or council or other people. But I'm going to get to the speakers, and then we can get to the ribbon cutting here. So I'm going to introduce Chip Boyles, city manager.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Really appreciate everybody coming out today. Again, Chip Boyles, city manager. Just really wishing you a welcome. I talk slow, but I'll do my best to talk fast. Given the skies above us. We do have two of our city council members, and you'll hear from at least one of those a little bit later. Michael Payne is here and Lloyd Snook. This is a time of year when a lot of our city council they are able to take vacation, and so we have several out of town. But it brings me really great pleasure to welcome you to this ribbon cutting today for the 10th and Page Park. We know that it'll get a permanent name at some point in the future, and I know the community will be involved with that. But today's ceremony is a reminder for the city's mission of creating lush green neighborhoods, and occasionally, like today, helping the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in the elimination of blight conditions on properties. We do this through the creation of beautiful and sustainable environmental improvements within our city. This effort is made in part by the unwavering commitment from the Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG citizen-led 10th and Page Priority Neighborhood Task Force. That's a mouthful. As well as the 10th and Page neighborhood members. This is a reflection of their ongoing commitment and community engagement in bettering this neighborhood. I also must express very deep appreciation and gratitude to our partners in this project, which there are many. Thank you for bringing this vision to life. I'm very pleased that celebrating with us today are members of our community whose significant contributions and leadership have helped us reach this very important milestone for this park. Some are here today, and some are joining us live streaming and watching us virtually. They include, not all, but they do include Aaron Atack, who is here, Tiara Howard, who I think is online with us, James Bryant, Tania Dowell, Vizina Howard, Miss Joy Johnson, who's across the street not listening to us. Boy, she's always listening. That's a new one. Okay. All right. Miss Sharon Jones, Seth Kelly, Tim Padalino, who's here, and Lyle Soley Yates. Can we get a quick round of applause for these folks that have done so much? Thank you. In addition to these community leaders, many stakeholder groups also partnered and contributed to this wonderful effort. They include the West Haven Coalition, FAR, CRHA, JABA, the City of Promise, right from the neighborhood, our Parks and Recs Department, Parks and Recs Advisory Board, especially some of our city staff like Tim Motch and Eric Morris, who contributed so much, and then all of our members from our departments of NDS, Utilities, Engineering, and as well as our Parks and Rec Department. And finally, Vest Excavating, who is the contractor for this park. A little history, just since 2016, the 10th and Page Priority Neighborhood Task Force has worked to identify a list of priority issues to address within the neighborhood using CDBG funds. The task force proposed using these funds to improve city-owned lots at this corner. City staff has been working to explore other opportunities as well of meaningful community engagement and consensus for the purpose of creating parks just like this. Various community engagement activities occurred, bringing neighborhood members together that led to the creation of this park. This moment has been a very long time coming, but thanks to you all, it is now a very reality. Thank you for your steadfast belief in the 10th and Page Park and your steadfast belief in the city of Charlottesville. As you enjoy the outdoors, please take a moment to reflect on the collective power of your generosity and be proud of what we can all accomplish together. This community's passion and engagement toward neighborhood revitalization and beautification is inspiring for many future city projects. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it all back over to Chris.
Thank you, Chip. Especially I wanted to call out Tierra Howard. She did a bang-up job doing this. I guess she knocked it into the park in this case. I'm not sure how you would say that. Kenan Williams is also here. They were on the design team. His team's over here as well, so thank them. And with this, I'm going to introduce Ned Mickey, who's the chair of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
Afternoon, everybody. What a pleasure it is to be here at this beautiful little pocket park. I've been on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board for many years now, and we've often talked about the need for more pocket parks in the city that allow green space and a place for people to come relax, particularly when they're surrounded in more of an urban environment, that it's so important to be able to get away and get out in green space and be able to relax, and just a place to meet folks and talk with friends and come out here and have lunch or just to relax. And we know from the pandemic how important outside space is, particularly. And so this is going to be enjoyed and used for years to come. And I'm just thrilled to be involved with helping to open it to everybody here in the community of West Haven and the neighborhood. And so thank you for all those who involved who made this happen, and the CBGG task force. And again, thank you. And I know the neighborhood was involved. I'm appreciative of Parks and Rec staff for all the work they did in getting this involved and getting the community's input. It's so important to get community input, and I know that there was a lot of outreach and that was done, and we ended up with the beautiful park we have. So thank you very much to everybody, and happy for all of us.
Thank you, Ned. Definitely want to also point out we have a lot of tree commissioners and tree stewards here. This will be a neat place in the city to see these trees grow over time, because we are also working on increasing our tree canopy to keep things nice and shady and cool and beautiful for all of our residents. So nice to see some new trees in this area as well. I'm going to introduce Michael Payne with City Council, has some thoughts to say.
Thank you for inviting me to speak. I mean, don't really have much to add or say. I think the most important investments we can make as a city are ones that you see physically, you can touch physically, you can see the investment happen, and that are driven by the community, community designed, and then partner with the city in order to find the funding and resources to make it happen. So I hope these kind of projects we can continue throughout the city in every neighborhood, and that we can provide investment throughout the city to provide public spaces that are accessible to everybody. And as others had already said, you know, this is really driven by the community, the neighborhood association and city staff, and just thank them for their work. Don't have much to add beyond that. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I'm going to introduce now James Bryant with the school board, has some words to say, and then we're going to cut the ribbon on our brand new park.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming. It was a pleasure working on this task force in 2016. All the members came up with a creative idea of how can we utilize this space to be a space that community members, both in 10th and Page Street, as well as Hardy Drive, a community that I lived in for 10 years, can come and fellowship, meditate, meet and greet, have a moment of reflection so that we can get to know one another. The community has changed over the years, and a lot of us don't know each other. So this could be a place where our kids can come, have fun. I think they were talking about having movie night and all those great things. So as a longtime resident of this neighborhood, I am proud. I want to give a shout out to the design team for doing a great job of designing this space. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Now we can all enjoy the new park. I hope to see many faces out here over the next coming years and decades and the millennium. So thank you all for coming out. You can enjoy it as long as you want. I think the rain's going to hold off, but thanks again, everybody, for coming out. Welcome to your new park, and submit park names to us. We got some interesting opportunities to name this new park.